Good morning, everybody. Glad to see everybody here today. Appreciate everybody coming out. At this time, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Clerk Barger.
Master Combs. Master Barger.
Here.
Master Tudor.
Here.
Master Botkin. Here. Judge Taylor.
Here. At this time, Master Barger is going to lead us in a word of prayer.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the day that you've given us. We ask for your blessings upon this meeting. We ask that you give us the wisdom and to make the right decisions that will help the people of this county. Father, we ask that you be with the ones that protect us. Father, everything that we do, we ask in your honor. In the precious name of Jesus that I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Roger. Sheriff, if you will, lead us in the pledge.
Please rise, face the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Sheriff. Guys, y'all had a chance to look over the minutes from the previous meeting. This time I need a motion and a second to approve those.
Move to approve. Second.
If there's no discussion, call the roll, please.
Master Barger.
Yes.
Master Tudor.
Yes.
Master Botkin.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. At this time, Glenna, you're going to give us the treasurer's report.
In your drop boxes, I have put the treasurer's report, and this goes through 10/31/2016. The cash balance on 10/31/2016 is $5,026,514.60. Our general fund revenues at this time, 4 months out of the year, we should be somewhere around 34%. Our general fund revenues are at 18.12%. Our expenditures are at 20.9%. Our road fund revenues are at 51.99%. Our expenditures are at 22.3%. Our jail fund revenues are at 36.1%. Our expenditures are at 31.46%. Our CSEP revenues are at 2.62%, and our expenditures are at 2.37%. Our 911 fund, our revenues are at 34%. Our expenditures are at 27%. So as you can see, all of our expenditures are quite a bit less than the 34%. We're doing good on expenditures. Our general fund, the revenues are only at 18.12, but that's because we get a large sum of money in November for tax collection.
Have we been caught up on our maintenance agreement and stuff
Yes,
with the
we
state? Okay.
Do you may have any questions?
That's good.
Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate it a lot. First order of business today is to award bids for the CSET tire site electrical enhancements. Howard, good morning.
Good morning. How are you all?
Good.
In October, we put out an RFP for electrical enhancements to 9 of our public safety radio tower sites. We posted it online and in the papers and got back 2 responses. We got back a response from Master Electrical Services and Hepburn Consultants. I actually sent that to our mission critical partner consultant. They looked over all the technical aspects of it. They thought both met the technical aspects of it. I put a committee together. We reviewed both responses. Both are very reputable companies, have done work in the past and do good jobs. However, we recommend awarding the bid to Hepburn Consultants. They came in at $119,985, slightly below Master Electrical Services, which was $120,640.
Kind of explain what the services that we're doing. Just kind of upgrading the system, or what?
Back in about this time last year, we experienced some transformer failures at 2 of the sites. Still haven't pinpointed whether it was lightning or back feeds from the electrical service, but we had some issues with transformers. They blew up. They failed. We had electrical engineers come and look at it. They recommended putting some surge protection on both sides of that transformer. We have replaced some of the transformers. We have 1 left to put in, and we're going to put surge protection in, some additional grounding, and then we're going to put a switch in case we have any more failures. At these tower sites, there was never a switch to go directly to power, so it all ran into basically into a transformer, and if that transformer failed, that was a single point of failure, and it was down until we got someone to come in and permanently put a direct hookup on it. So now we're gonna be able to bypass all that with a switch and bypass all the surge protection just to get it back up and running until we can get it repaired. So basically that's what this upgrade's gonna do. And it's gonna be to all tower sites.
Okay, thank you.
That's an automatic switch, not somebody has to go out there and flip one.
No, you have to go out there and
Still
flip it.
manual?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a lot better than having an electrician go out there and have to unwire all that and make a direct connection to it.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, most of those towers have backup solar systems on them, don't they, or a lot of them do?
They have backup generators, and part of this upgrade, which is not part of this bid proposal, but we did get money also to put battery backups in there as well. We're gonna do that separately, but we'll have several failovers in case we lose power there.
All right, thank you.
Do I have a motion and a second?
Upon Mr. Logue's recommendation, I make a motion that we award the bid to the Helpman Consultants.
Second that.
No more discussion. Call the roll, please.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Master Botkin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Thanks, Howard. Appreciate it. Second reading of ordinance 1613 is to amend the administrative code. This is an ordinance amending ordinance 1610 Madison County Fiscal Court Administrative Code Section 4.3 to read as follows. And it's the exempt salary to under $47,476. And this is effective December 1st, 2016. And this is actually a Fair Labor Standards Act that came down from the federal government. So I need a motion and a second for the second reading of ordinance 1613.
Roger had the original, but I'll go ahead and make a motion that we accept this and adopt this into our ordinance 1613.
Second.
If there's any discussion, if not, call the roll.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Master Botkin?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next is first reading of ordinance 1614. This is a land use change from C7 Community Agriculture to C4 Community Neighborhood Commercial for Danny Hunt for 6.16 acres at 3780 Irvin Road. This was sent to fiscal court from the planning commission.
Excuse me, Judge, it's not, it's general commercial, not neighborhood. It was typed up wrong on the paper, but it's right up on the screen up there.
So, Marty, is it C7 to C4?
C7.
C7, C4, yeah.
Is there anybody here to speak on this?
Mr. Collins here to represent Mr. Mayor.
You here representing the petitioner?
Yes, sir.
Please. Planning Commission adopted findings of fact, conclusions of law, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And which finding was it? It's consistent?
That it was in accordance with the comprehensive plan, and that the current zone, as it was zoned as a C7 was inappropriate.
Okay, we just needed to make sure, there are three findings that you could act on when doing a zone change. One is that it's actually consistent with the comprehensive plan. And it looked like, when I reviewed the planning commission notes, that's what it was, but actually I think it's your position that the original zone was inappropriate and
Yes,
the
sir.
proposed zone is appropriate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Judge, can I come over here, children, and talk about?
Sure.
On the findings, there was a note that said C attached, and it was under A. I'm not so certain if the actual text, though, doesn't indicate that the finding was that the original zone was inappropriate, which is down here.
Mhm.
So if the court does adopt the planning commission's recommendations, I would assume that it's based on the finding that the original zone was inappropriate and the proposed zone was appropriate by council?
Yes, sir. And I believe it's KRS statute 100.213.
Anybody else here speak in favor for or against the proposal? Judge, and I think this came to the court unanimous.
It did.
Recommendation of the planning commission.
Do you know what you're gonna do with this land, I mean, as far as what you?
Yes, sir. let me first say that we went about this a little bit opposite from what you typically would do. The reason was the owner previous to Mr. Hunt did not want to do a zone change. He did not want to conduct a zone change. So we applied for the conditional use. It was accepted. Mr. Hunt purchased the property, and then he decided to do the zone change. That's one reason why we went about it a little bit differently. As it relates to what he will be doing on the property, Mr. Hunt is running a construction debris hauling company. He just wants a place where he can store his roll-off containers that are not in use. He wants to, what his job entails basically is to, he receives phone calls, he takes these roll-off containers to these construction sites. They fill those up, he takes them to the landfill, dumps them, and then brings the containers back to his site. He just wants a place where he can put his roll-off containers and his vehicles.
Yeah.
He will not have any hazardous materials on those roll-off containers. He doesn't have the permits for those. And the entrance and exit point, I think there would be one entrance and exit point, but it's already been approved by the state.
Does he ever leave any of the debris there before he goes to the landfill, or is it all just container storage?
Container storage. I would never say never. You never deal with absolutes. But if there is an exception to that, the conditional use actually made it a part of his use that he would have to dump those containers immediately as soon as the landfill is open. So if there's a holiday.
Say the landfill's closed, I've got to leave it here until they open back up. I understand that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's gonna, if that happens, he's gonna leave that box on his truck, park his truck there.
Yes, sir.
I mean, and there's DOT regulations that he has to follow as far as, having a cover over his box.
Yes, sir.
And,
Yes, sir.
I don't think there would ever really be an issue with like it being windy one evening and
Yeah.
just trash
Right.
blowing everywhere because he's got it covered.
Yes, sir.
And most of the time, in that kind of business, he's not making any money if those boxes are sitting on his, on this piece of land.
Right.
He wants that box to be sitting on somebody's construction site.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Combs, were there any opposition at the planning and zoning against this, any neighborhood residents or whatever?
There was no opposition, sir.
and one of the things that we need to understand too is he had a conditional use permit, so he's actually already been using this facility for this purpose.
He's actually in the process of building his business there. He's actually in the process. Of
Oh,
building a garage.
he's in the process.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes,
he has not been using this in the past
No, sir.
already. Okay.
Is there requirements for this? Is there a residential area near this, Marty?
There's a volunteer Waco fire department on one side of it, and then a farm on the other side. Across the road is general commercial. Scott Thomas Excavating.
Construction company or
Yeah,
whatever.
construction company right straight across the street from it. And then right beside it, there's another warehouse type building, which is also zoned C4.
So there's no fence requirements for it?
There is a hollow with a bunch of trees. It's got a natural buffer already on one side.
All right.
So the motion, if the court is inclined, would be to adopt the planning commission's recommendations that the original zone was inappropriate and the proposed zone was appropriate?
Yes, sir.
And again, guys, this is a first reading, so there will be a second reading.
I move we adopt the reading of 1614 ordinance change from C7 to C4.
That's it.
That's
With the finding of fact
With the finding
that it's,
was misrepresented in the previous.
right, that the
The
original
original-
zone was inappropriate
Right.
and the proposed zone is appropriate, if that's what your motion.
That's my proposal.
Okay.
A second.
if we have no more discussion, call the roll, please.
Master Bucket?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, with the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security, they have asked or made it a rule that we have a intelligence liaison officer locally in Madison County to be that liaison between the state Homeland Security Office and our local law enforcement. in case of any types of instances that maybe goes on. This is a requirement in order for us to continue to ask for some of the Homeland Security grants that our law enforcement, our fire department uses on a yearly basis. I've talked with our sheriff about, I felt like that it was best that we have a deputy that would be this person, because our sheriff's department is more likely going to be, any kind of emergency, they're going to be involved in some way. And so I felt like it was best, and Sheriff Coyle recommended that Sam Manley be that appointment as the intelligence liaison officer. So at this time, I would recommend that we appoint Samuel Manley as our intelligence liaison officer.
I make that motion on your recommendation.
Second.
If there's no more discussion, call the roll, please.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Tudor?
Yes.
Mr. Buckin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next is to approve the spay and neuter grant. Scott, you want to come up? Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Back in, I won't touch the microphone there. Back in July, we applied for a $1,000 grant through the Kentucky Division of the Kentucky Division of Agriculture Animal Control Advisory Board. Now, these grants were proposed for spay and neutering operations here in the state of Kentucky. What I'm proposing for is, especially at the Madison County Animal Shelter, over the past 15 months, we've identified some issues with why in the public we have puppies turned in at the animal shelter. Now, the consistence of when you ask the people that turn the puppies in is they could not afford the spay and neutering operation for the mother dog. So when in the future, once we sign and get the grant money approved, we will be able to, when that person who turns the puppies in at the shelter says that they can not afford the spay operation for the mother dog, then we can offer and schedule and have that mother dog spayed for our community. That being said, it'll be a condition of is that the animal shelter is going to take in the puppies and put them up for adoption, then the citizen agrees to have the mother dog spayed. So, and we run into situations like that several times throughout the year, and I think this $1,000 would be a good start to see where we're going in a spay neutering program for the county shelter. So,
Good.
we applied for it in July, and it's just now in November that we now receive it. So it was actually one of those grants that I didn't know if it was ever going to come to be, because I kept emailing the sponsor of it at the state, and he said we'll announce it then, and we'll keep announcing it. But it finally came in. So
Good.
Will the $1,000 probably spay about 10 to 12 females?
I've got an agreement with a local veterinarian through the Richmond Veterinary Clinic for $60 per operation. So we also have a match on this grant, so it'll be $750 match on it. So I didn't, let's see, whichever, 60. Can't run that number right now. So whatever 60 into $1,750, so we'll have the operation.
It'll be about 30, close to 30.
And that'll go, and you know, that'll go a long way to help the community, especially with people who routinely turn in puppies every spring and fall. So.
That's good.
At this time, I need a motion and a second to approve the spay and neuter grant.
So moved.
Second.
No more discussion, call the roll, please.
Mr. Tudor?
Yes.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Buckin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next is approval of the carcass disposal agreement. But this is not only the carcass disposal, this is also our loaner truck program, or is this just carcass?
This is for the disposal of the dead livestock that we remove
okay.
from our farms on a daily basis here
Okay.
in Madison County. The $30.59 a ton, that's an price increasement from around $28.50. So you've got about a $1.50 increase in the tonnage. So, and the landfills, ever since they had their incident with disposal of nuclear waste there in Irvin, has been tightening up agreements and putting everything in paper, making sure everything's that coming into the landfill is signed for and has agreements on it. So
$30. What was the cost?
$30.59 a ton disposed of.
And do we have about 500 tons annually?
500 tons annually is about the statistical amount that we run through the program every year.
So is there any change to us other than just the dollar something cost?
That the $1.50 cents increase of the cost.
And we charge nothing for this service, correct?
That is correct. It is a free service offered to anyone with livestock and agricultural for us to come pick up a deceased animal. So, and this past week has been a hot week for it. I think we removed 21 animals yesterday. Truck was all over Madison County, zigzagging back and forth and all over everywhere.
Well, I know a lot of farmers appreciate this service, Scott, and I think it's good for the community. I will make the motion, we'll continue with this agreement, just to provide the service for the community. You don't have carcasses laying out there smelling on the side of the road. It's good for everybody, so.
That's right. We are one of like 8 counties in the state that offer this service, and we are only one of 3 that offer it for free.
I started to say, I thought there was only 2 or 3, but I guess it's the free part.
Yeah.
I'm second that motion.
No more discussion? Call the roll, please.
Master Bucking?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. Next is personnel. It's a road department hire. Scott, other Scott. Good morning.
Morning. Interview Review Board would like to report the following result to the Madison County Fiscal Court. The interview board held in-person interviews for vacancies of truck driver general labor. The board unanimously approved the following suggestions to hire the named applicant. The applicant is Mr. Terry Anderson. Terry is previously lived in Pikeville, Kentucky, has only been in Madison County for about 6 months. He has purchased a farm on Whitlock Road. Mr. Anderson is retired from Cam Mining LLC in Pikeville. He had many qualifications. He's certified to run nearly all pieces of equipment. He's just kind of wanting to step down from the normal pace and maybe help us out with his skills. So we're recommending to hire Mr. Anderson at $13 per hour to be a CDL truck driver. He does hold his Class B CDL license.
It's good. Scott, I'm glad to see us finally find somebody that at least got a license.
Yeah, his children have moved here, so him and his
great.
wife has relocated here to Madison County. So
That's good.
I think he'll be a real asset to us.
I love somebody that actually has good qualifications.
Yes,
And he's willing to put in the 40-hour week.
he is. Yes.
Okay.
It's good.
Do I have a motion second upon Scott's recommendation?
I move we hire Terry Anderson for the road department position.
Second. At $13.
$13.
Yes, sir.
So I have a motion and a second. No more discussion. Call the roll, please.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Master Bucking?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes.
Just
Thanks,
a
Scott.
quick note, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Everybody's been inquiring and asking about how we are on snow drivers. We've currently put our plans together this morning. We've got our new routes. We are 3 drivers short. So we'd just like to encourage everybody to come out and put in your application. We are hiring, and if it comes down to it, we can cover it. So there's no real panic, but we are 3 employees short to fill our truck positions.
What are the qualifications for that position?
They must have a Class B CDL. Thanks.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Next, judge's report. First thing I do want to announce that we did put out an executive order due to the excessive dryness and fire hazard conditions to do a no outside burn order for Madison County effective immediately. That went out the 17th day of November, and that's still enforced. So just wanted to make mention of that. The Madison County Courthouse and its related offices will be closed this Thursday and Friday for the Thanksgiving holiday. We will reopen on November the 28th at 8 a.m. The lighting of the Madison County Community Christmas tree will be Friday, December 2nd at 6 p.m. And then obviously following that is the Richmond Parade. that starts at 6:45 down Lancaster Avenue and Main Street. Then the Brea Christmas Parade will be the following day on Saturday, December 3rd. It begins at 6 p.m. and it goes down Broadway and Chestnut Street in Brea. I think it starts out at Brea Community School. Then also a reminder that your Madison County property taxes may be paid at the Madison County Sheriff's Office located in the basement of the Madison County Courthouse Annex, directly behind the main Madison County Courthouse. They are open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We do have job postings at this time. Please check out our website for information and postings at www.madisoncountyky.us and also on Facebook. You can check it out for current county updates. Next is comment from department heads. Anybody need to address the court today? If not, comments from Masters. Roger?
Don't have much. I guess we got plenty of salt, don't we, Willie?
Yes, sir.
It's full right now.
Can't hold another shovel or two? Maybe.
We can always use help.
Yeah. I don't have much, Judge. Just want to tell everybody I had the privilege of going to the joint conference in Louisville, and I was honored to have the judge and the sheriff with me, so I was well protected with knowledge and protection from all sides. So it was hard to keep my eye on both of them, I'll tell you that. I had a good conference. It was kind of the usual conference. You're going to hear some things that you heard the time before, and as always, you're going to learn more sitting at a table talking to other people from other counties more than the instructors ever talked about. And it's always been that way. And when you tell them your problems, they'll say, well, we had that problem and here's what we did, and it worked or it didn't work. You know, you can try it, and that's where you get these ideas at. Had a good conference. I think there's a little bit of definitely going to be a change in some of the speakers because of the election, and you can see that there. Some of them that was supposed to speak wasn't there. You know, they subbed them with somebody else, but that's just par for the course. You know, that's all I got.
Thanks, Ross. John?
I'd just like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving coming up this week, and spend time with your family, and just be thankful for this free country we live in, and all the blessings that we have, and just give God the praise for all that we're affordable to have here in this great country. First Christian Church is having a supper and pie auction tonight at 6 o'clock. The soup starts at 6 o'clock, and the pie auction is at 7. All the proceeds go to underprivileged families here in the community. I think last year we raised $6,100. Mr. Robbins and I will be attending that tonight. I'd like to invite that, open it for the community. Anybody would like to come by and have a bowl of soup and share a little fun and laughter at the pie auction with us and have a good time, you're welcome to come. That's all I got, Judge.
Thanks, buddy. Tom?
Judge, I want to start out and just wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. My oldest son, Daniel, is on his way or will be on his way tomorrow from North Carolina. And so he's bringing my 2-year-old granddaughter. And with that, I'm just tickled to death. And along those lines, I would just like to add this, and everybody just to keep this in mind. We, and I'm going to take the blame for this, but this past Saturday, we missed an opportunity to recognize a fallen soldier. November the 19th, the governor declared that the flags could be flown at half-staff in honor of Staff Sergeant Matthew C. Llewellyn. He was a 27-year-old stationed at Fort Campbell and a member of the 5th Special Forces Group. He died in support of Operation Inherent Resolve, which is a mission that is fighting ISIS and terrorism in Iraq and Syria at this time. And this young man, his parents said that from the time that he was 3 years old, that all he wanted to do was be a soldier. And he was married. He left a young wife. He's left a family. I don't think he had any children, but he died on November 4th when his convoy came under fire when they were re-entering a Jordanian military base. So this Thanksgiving, when we're all giving thanks for all of the things that we have, I ask you please just to remember that in this country, we are able to sit down and worship the way we choose and to give thanks for the things that we have here and have our family here for one reason and one reason only. And that's simply because that an American soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, or Coast Guardman stand on every single country on the face of this nation. And we should never forget that. And so I'm thankful for all of those men and women who are willing to give. I know that John Tudor's, personally, he has a son that's two that are the United States military, and for everyone here in Madison County knows somebody that fits to. And please, in your prayers, remember this family, because they're suffering. There's many more that we don't know about. But all of those they give so that we can be here in a free country, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving.
Appreciate it. Mark, do you have anything?
Well, Judge, nothing other than, you probably can't tell, but I get up and go to the gym early in the morning. And the sunrise this morning was absolutely stunning.
It was.
And then, we live in a beautiful place. We've got great neighbors. We have great leadership. And I just thought that this morning, probably more than most, that regardless of whether we're having a good day or bad day, we're all truly blessed. We all have a lot to be thankful for. And I just hope that everybody will take a few minutes just to recognize that and realize that our blessings sometimes are more obvious than the others. But what a beautiful place to live, and what a great day that the good Lord's given us.
Yes. Amen. Yep. Yeah, one of the things I've always said is that when I'm having a bad day or something's not quite going right, I always think that there's somebody out there in the world that's got it a whole lot worse than I do. And so we need to be thankful for that.
Could we, Mr. Seifert, could you tell us what you asked us about what happened 53 years ago today?
Excuse me. We were talking before the meeting, and I was 3 weeks old when this event happened. But in my opinion, probably the second hardest event that happened to the United States in the 20th century was the assassination of President Kennedy.
Yeah.
And I would ask everybody today, I know this is going to be for 2 weeks, but about 1:15 today to remember down in Dallas that fateful day, and it really, the world changed, our country changed, not necessarily for the better. And about where you were and where you heard about it, most everybody was in school, or some of us were in diapers, but that's just kind of part of it.
Some of us weren't born.
Some of you weren't born. And, and if you're at home this evening, you got the little kids, this is where I was when this event happened. And so they can tell their kids, so we can remember this instead of just being another day on the calendar.
Yep.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Appreciate it.
I was 5, Bill, for the record.
Okay.
Kenny, you have anything?
Yeah, I got a little election recap. Madison County's turnout was 59.5%. That's around 38,000 folks voted on Tuesday. We had 20 precincts over 60% and 30 precincts over 50%. And Red House came in at 68.1%. Now that's not our top. Thought Francette might be in here. Our top precinct was Lost Fork at 100%. They got 7 voters.
Those both from my district.
Yeah.
We get them out down there.
Francette's daddy definitely showed up on election day. Office took 2,380 calls that day. So it was one after the other. And the average length of the call was 2 minutes. Some of them go long and some of them just quickly answer.
Where'd
We've
I
got
vote?
somebody here, they don't know where they vote.
Yeah, where'd I vote?
I mean, that's every election, but it's just the higher the turnout, the more calls about asking about where to go vote. And that's why we'll continue this next year as a what we call a dead year. There are no elections in 2017. So we'll continue to campaign and try to help people get educated about where their precinct is and where the polling location is. December 13th, we've got a wet dry, or a local option for a golf course wet dry in Brea. The A102, it's where the country club is down there in Brea. Absentee opens in the Brea office on the 28th of this month, which is Monday.
Kenny, I do want to commend you there on the elections. I went to, I got to go by Madison Southern. It was packed. Went down by Kingston. It was also packed, but everything was moving along smoothly. There were some long lines in some of it, but it all went really well, and everybody seemed happy with the process. So you've done a great job on
We
it.
try to get a little better every time with the layout and the flow of folks, and we've got, every year we get suggestions from the polls, the people, you know, boots on the ground folks, and we try to roll those out in the next. This was an odd turnout. People wanted to be sure they got to vote this time, so they showed up early this time. We didn't have a lunch rush at most precincts, and we didn't have an evening rush. I thought we'd have people in line at 7 o'clock. That wasn't the case. They voted between 6 and 10 that morning. So it was really heavy in the mornings, but busy all day. But those were the heaviest time.
It's good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'll pass that along. And again, I'll say every time, if you would like to work the polls, please contact us. Call up here. We'll be recruiting as heavily as we can. We always make the number, but it's just by 1 or 2, you know, alternates every time. So,
Do you have to live in that precinct to work there?
nope, we just have to be registered in Madison County.
Okay, so could be asked to work another part of the county?
Yeah, we try to keep people close so they don't have to drive so far, that kind of thing. We don't want somebody driving from the northern part of the county down to Madison Southern. You know, but sometimes we have to make those changes last minute because we get short on people. It's evenly split DNR, Democrat, Republican, in those precincts. And then it's split by job category. And not everybody wants to, or is good at being a clerk and sitting with the roster all day. So we have to, a lot of variables go into staffing that.
My mom worked here for the first time this time. She was nervous wreck.
She was sheriff.
Yeah, she was nervous wreck.
Wished everybody happy Thanksgiving too when they left.
Yeah.
So she was a kind sheriff then.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. She got a little taste of what Sheriff Cole goes through, I guess, right? Yeah. So, appreciate it, Kenny. Appreciate the job you do. Sheriff, do you have anything? Douglas? Good, appreciate everybody being here. So, any comments from the audience? Anybody in the audience? Sure. If you do, absolutely, come up to the podium.
Thank you for having me. I'm Mark Miller. I'm with Center for Behavioral Health. We're an outpatient substance abuse program that we've been in the Madison County area now since February. We opened our doors in February. We are a medication-assisted treatment program, so we're methadone, Suboxone, Vivitrol, Chantix, those types of medications. The one problem with our program is that our folks have to drive to Frankfort, Kentucky to get counseling, and we would like to be able to provide those services here in Madison County. And to do that, the Kentucky KRS says that we need to get memorandums of understanding of an agreement with local law enforcement and/or the jailer, and we would like to begin those discussions. And I figured I'd come and introduce myself for that. Unfortunately, what we found is that there are a lot of people who need help. We get probably 10 to 15 phone calls a day, and the biggest impediment right now is I have to drive where to be able to do that. And right now we have them going about once a week. The state regulations are that our folks have to do counseling on a weekly basis, they have to do drug screens on a weekly basis, and they have to dose daily 7 days a week. We're open 7 days a week. We're over in the Ivell James complex, and like I said, we've been there since February, and we really are hoping that we're going to be able to expand those services. We are one of the premier agencies around that really can help with the scourge of heroin and opiates, and I know you all, I don't need to go into a lot of detail about that. I know you've probably been dealing with this for a long time now, and we're here to help. We are 100% self-pay. I'm not asking for any money from the county. In fact, when we come in, we usually employ more people and bring in more opportunities for people to be able to work and for our patients to be able to work full-time. So I'm just here to introduce myself. I know this may be a longer process, and I'm happy to entertain any questions.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
What's the name of your facility again?
Center for Behavioral Health. We've been in Kentucky since 2004. I've been with them since about 2005. And I got to drive in the sunrise today from Louisville, so it was a bit of a hike. I will say I just spent a weekend at Snug Hollow down in Irvine, and that is such a fantastic location, and not used to wild turkeys waking me up, more used to trains waking me up. So that was neat. So sorry.
Thank you for coming in, Mr.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Anybody else from the audience? If not, I need a motion to pay the claims and approve the transfers.
So move.
Second.
No discussion, call the roll, please.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Master Bucking,
Yes.
Master Barger,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Next court date is Tuesday, December 6th, Richmond. Just for so everybody can plan, and Bill, so you know, first Tuesday and third Tuesday of December is our next court meetings. We moved them just because of the holidays and where that fourth Tuesday fell. So next court date's December 6th, 2016 in Richmond. I need a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Master Bucking,
Yes.
Master Barger.
Yes.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Good meeting, guys. Thanks. Appreciate everybody being here.